Hey everybody, this is Natasha Wilkinson, your independent scentsy consultant from Mount Isa, Australia. My Bring Back My Bar kit has just arrived, which means we can delve into this box and do some first sniffs of the 12 Bring Back My Bars that will be available to purchase from the 1st of June. That were voted back by the general public. So these will be available for the month of June only. As consultants, we do get early access. We can purchase up to 2 bars of each of the fragrances, which is what I have done for us to sample, try, warm, come on here on YouTube and do some first sniffs, that type of thing. So before coming on here, I'd like to say a deep dive, but if I was doing a deep dive with the internet, I'd probably still be on the internet, because you can just keep going and going and going and finding more information. So I did a semi-dive to find out exactly when these bars were around in the catalogue, if they've come back in future, Bring Back My Bars, that type of thing. So I tried to keep it specific to our region when we're talking about when these were around, just to give you an idea of when these bars were actually around for purchase. So let's delve into it, shall we, and do some first sniffs. As I said, I do take advantage of the fact that we can get 2 bars of each, so I've got 2 bars of each fragrance, because what I typically do is 1 bar I use to make samples and send out to my VIP customers. The other bar I warm myself to try and do warming reviews why they're available and give my opinion on them why they're available. So the first one we're going to talk about is Crazy Coconut, and this was originally part of Scentsy, originally in some of their older catalogues. They had what was called a kids section, and this was part of that kids section. It was new to the autumn winter catalogue of 2016, and it is described as coconut milk, mixed fruit and vanilla ice cream. Yum is the description. This one, you can smell the coconut. It's a very fresh, shaved coconut. It's on the lighter side, so it's, which is kind of expected for being originally a kids section, but it is on, to me, the lighter side. There is a sweetness in there, which I think might be the fruit, but predominantly what I'm smelling is like that shaved coconut that you would use in cooking, with a little bit of sweetness. As I said, not too strong. I think this one would be a really good mixer if you were wanting to do like a coconut mix with something. Probably not club worthy for me, and I don't know that I would necessarily go and pick up more of this one. I've got 2 bars, as I said. 1 will be used to make samples with those, so I do still have a bar. If I were to pick up more of this particular one, I think it would be to use as a mixer than anything, but you never know. My opinion could totally change on warming. So the next one, delving into my box of goodies. So I have lemon and berries, and lemon and berries, I think this is the one that took me a while to actually find any information on, because I could not find it in any of Australia's previous catalogues. And then I did a quick scroll through our Australia New Zealand All Consultants page, and I found that it was actually a scent of the month in July 2012. So this was actually never a catalogue scent. This was actually a previous scent of the month, and it is described as juicy strawberries, red currants cut with a blast of zesty citrus. Or at least as far as I'm aware of. I couldn't see it in any elder catalogues I came across. It may have been, but I think I've got copies of all of the catalogues from Australia, but who knows? Because I've only been a consultant for a few years, so whether I found all the catalogues or not, I don't know. This is nice. Something I'd pick up a few more of. I don't know that I'd put it in my club because there's a lot of fruity scents out there that I can get access to, and as I said before, I have 2 full drawers of summer scents I've got to make my way through. This is very summery for me, but it is nice. You can smell the strawberry and you can smell the lemon. It's a good mix of both. You've got that really sweet strawberry and then you've got that tart lemon. And I'd say what I'm smelling on cold, I'm smelling 50% strawberry, 50% lemon. A lot of the other mixes like this, I smell either more lemon and the strawberries drowned out, or I just smell a lot of strawberry and no lemon, where I can really smell both of the fruit in there. So it's playing with that tart and that sweet. There's something almost, I want to say, bubbly about this. It's bright and bubbly. It's sweet and tart. This is something, as I said, for me, a lot more summery. Something that I would really enjoy more in summer. So while I don't know that I would, and again, I may change my mind on warming, but this is something I feel like rather than club, I would probably pick up 3, maybe or 4 more of these, so I have a good little stash to warm it during summer, because I don't know that I'd necessarily feel like reaching for this type of scent right now. So that was lemon and berries. The next one, so we have frosted ginger cookie and frosted ginger cookie, according to my notes, was new in the spring summer catalogue of 2014, and it is described as chewy brown sugar cookie spiked with warming ginger and fragrant vanilla. The ginger in this is fresh ginger. This is what you get when you smell it. It's not a sweet ginger, it's a fresh shaved or fresh cut ginger just before you're about to mix it into a cookie mix. I can smell a very slight brown sugar note on the back end, but what I'm getting predominantly first is that ginger, and then as that fades to the back of my note and that sharpness from that ginger fades to the back of my nose, I then get like this lingering brown sugar note. So that's going to be interesting on warming to see if they meld together a little bit more, because at the moment those 2 notes are kind of smelling a little bit separate to me, and I'm feeling like that fresh ginger's kind of overtaking a lot of what those other notes are. But I also feel like this will warm quite nicely. And just reading like the scent notes before I even started smelling on any of these, I thought this was going to be a Scentsy Club contender for me. But I'm not always into the sharp, astringent smell. So if that ginger overtakes everything else, may not go into my Scentsy Club. But if it blends with the other scents on warming, will probably end up into my Scentsy Club, because I do love a good bakery scent, and our catalogue doesn't necessarily have a big range when it comes to bakery. So the next one, speaking of bakery, while we're still going along the same lines of bakery, salted caramel cupcake. So, according to my notes here, salted caramel cupcake was new to the spring catalogue of 2014. It continued into the autumn-winter 2015 catalogue, the spring-summer catalogue 2015, and the spring-summer catalogue 2017. So it was in our Australian catalogue for quite a while before they decided to pull it, and it is described as creamy golden caramel with hints of cocoa, delicate pink sea salt crowns a buttery cupcake. Salted caramel right off the bat. This is going to be one of those really rich, decadent bakery scents. It smells good. This one will probably be going into my club. If it warms as well as it smells, I'm almost picking a chocolatey note about this. Is there a chocolate note in here? Cocoa. So I can smell the hints of cocoa in here. So that's that chocolatey note I'm picking up. I'm smelling very rich salted caramel with a little touch of chocolate, which would be that hint of cocoa that I said I was picking up. Could be a little bit more cakey. It's not as battery or cakey as I thought it would be, but I can definitely smell that salted caramel and that hint of cocoa. Again, more of that cakey note may come through on warming, but this one is definitely a club contender for me. So, the next one, another bakery. I was quite excited for this round of Bring Back My Bars. There are a lot of bakery in here, and we know that I really love bakery. And there were quite a few that I did want to try. I think I threw a few votes towards salted caramel cupcake, and I think I threw a few votes towards this particular one as well. And that is sticky cinnamon bun, which is cinnamon and sweet icing with warm nutty nuances. And sticky cinnamon bun, in my notes here, say it was around in the spring summer catalogue of 2013 and 14, and the autumn winter catalogue of 2014. So it had about 2 years run before they pulled it from the catalogue here in Australia. So let's delve into smelling this one, shall we? Okay, so this is more cinnamon forward than bun forward. It's like a bakery cinnamon, but it's not a sweet bakery cinnamon, but it's not a red hot cinnamon either. I think it's verging on red hot cinnamon, but it still has that sweetness in the cinnamon and spices when baking. If you like cinnamon and vanilla, you'd probably like this. This is a little bit more cinnamon heavy though. I feel like this would be, okay, there's something a little bit sweet there. But I definitely feel like this is more cinnamon than it is bun. But it's still really nice, and I don't mind a warm cinnamon scent this time of year. But I feel like if you're not a fan of cinnamon or spice, you probably would not like sticky cinnamon bun. For me, I like cinnamon and spice, so it's one of those scents that are up my alley, but it's not as bakery forward as I thought it would be. So what have we got next here? So next we have Tahitian Black Orchid, and I did throw a few votes this way, and this particular fragrance was new to the catalogue in spring summer of 2015, was in the spring summer catalogue of 2016, the autumn winter catalogue of 2016, and the autumn winter catalogue of 2017. So again, it was another one of those scents that were around a few years before they decided to pull it from the catalogue, and it is a seductive tapestry of black orchid, dark plum, coconut milk and white rose weaves a mysterious tale full of surprises. And these are quite older bars. You can even tell by the almost as you can see, juiciness of it. This is quite perfumey, very different to what I was expecting. I was expecting a little bit more fruity notes to it. It's beautiful. I think this would be a really, really nice bedroom scent, but it's a little bit more perfumey than what I was expecting. And it's like a sparkling perfumey, a very sweet, dare I say virgin on almost citrus, because there's no citrus notes in here that I can smell. So it's more of a, I guess you could say, sweet floral than a powdery floral, but it's still coming off a little bit perfumey. This is quite pretty. Don't know, this is the type of floral scents I do enjoy. So this one's kind of on the fence whether I would club or whether I would just pick up a few more. It just depends on what else I decide to club out of this mix, and obviously how well it performs in the warmers. But as I said, I feel like this would be more of a nice bedroomy scent as opposed to anything else. So the next one, this one I was intrigued by because a lot of people in Region 1 talk about this particular scent, and I do remember in my first ever flash sale I participated in picking up some car bars for my husband, and he really liked this in car bars, and I know it's recently been pulled from Region 1's catalogue, but from watching reviews and people haul theirs, I can tell these are old bars because I'm sure the colour of this is meant to be more along the lines of this green, and that is Summer Holiday. And this particular one was in our autumn winter catalogue of 2016 and our spring summer catalogue of 2019. So I'm going to guess it would have made appearances between 2016 and 19, but I didn't see it. So whether they pulled it and then brought it back for a catalogue season, I don't know. But usually they go consecutive years before they pull it, or they have a one-off year and then they pull it. So I'm guessing it was around between 2016 to 2019, just based on what I have written here. So Summer Holiday is steal away to sunny isles bursting with lush plumeria, tiger lily, sweet orange softened by vanilla, and radiant amber. I can smell plastic. There is a little bit of a sweetness about this, but this is disappointing because I think it's lost, as I said, I don't think the colour's right. I think it's lost a lot of its scent. I'm not smelling orange, I'm not smelling plumeria, I'm not smelling amber, I'm not smelling vanilla. I'm not smelling anything in that description. A tiny bit of perfumey sweetness, but a lot of plastic. So if these were freshly poured bars, I might be able to give you a better idea of what this is going to smell like. It'll be interesting warming it to see if any of this comes through, but I think a lot of the scent has gone. And I would try and find a pour date, but I'm a blind bat and I can barely see the pour dates on there. I can barely see other things besides the pour dates in general. But I can't see anything glaring out at me, so I couldn't even give you a pour date. But I do feel that they have tried to give us some really old stock at the back of the warehouse. And for me, my opinion with scents like these, particularly in a Bring Back My Bar, they shouldn't do it because they did that with apple butter frosting with me, and it's the whole reason I have 1 bar per quarterly in my club instead of 2 or 3 or 4. If they'd given me a properly poured bar from the beginning, I would have purchased a lot more would have gone in my club. You can't get a true impression of what these scents smell like when they get to this stage. These older bars, I'm not saying get rid of them. Throw them in a clearance like we just had. Throw them in a flash sale. Dirt cheap. Get rid of them that way. And then with the Bring Back My Bars and new promotions where we're paying full price, give us freshly poured bars so we can experience the scents for what they're meant to be experienced for. So the next one I do know is going into my club because it was actually the first Bring Back My Bar I experienced, and I didn't actually, at that stage, I wasn't actually warming through the new scents while they were available. I was just warming them as my fancy took me, and so by the time I actually got around to warming this particular scent with the few bars I had no longer available, so I wasn't able to pop them into my club. I have now learned, warm them while they're available because you may love a scent and may want it in your club. And this is one I've been hanging to come back and I threw quite a lot of votes for. So this one is Marshmallow Mint. So it was new to the Spring Summer catalogue of 2016. It stayed in the Autumn, Winter and Spring Summer catalogues of 2017. And as I said, it was a Bring Back My Bar, my first one in 2020. So it has made its way back around and it will be going into my club. It is Buttermint and Marshmallow Make Merry Beneath a Amber Veil. And it's all of that. It is sweet marshmallow buttermint. This is the perfect bedroom scent. And that amber just softens it. Absolutely love this scent. And it's not a toothpastey mint. It's a very sweet, almost cakey mint. So if you don't like mint smells because you don't like toothpastey smells, the amber and the marshmallow give this more of a cakey, sweet edge to it. It is really, really beautiful. And I can't wait to add that one to my club. So the next one we're going to talk about is Sparkling Black Plum. And it was new to the catalogue in the spring summer of 2016, and it is described as toast to Tarraco orange, black plum and blueberry champagne. I feel like if you like scents like dazzling pomegranate that have that effervescent note to it, you're going to like this. Again, you get that tartness from the orange, and then you get this richness from the plum. So again, play on tart and sweet and bubbly and effervescency. I can smell that blueberry champagne too. That blueberries like giving this burst of almost like a hubba bubba sweetness. This is quite different, like compared to other fruity scents. I like it. Do I like it enough that I want to club it though? That's the question. I do like it enough again that I feel like this is one again that I would enjoy. Probably as we're more in the spring months, as we're coming out of the cold and transitioning into summer, because it does have those more brighter notes about it. But the plum in here is warm enough that if you're still getting a few cool mornings, it would work well as well. So I do quite like that one, and that surprises me because I thought it was going to be maybe a little bit too tart to my nose, but it's definitely one that I think I'm going to enjoy and warm in. Do I like it as much as some of the other ones? Probably not. If it came down to a choice of clubbing, I'd probably think I'd just pick up a few more rather than club. So the next one, I feel like my daughter's going to enjoy this one. And this one is Candy Crave. And it was in the kids section, new to the autumn winter catalogue of 2018 and the spring summer catalogue of 2018 and 19. So it is just the sweet stuff, raspberry sorbet, cotton candy and fluffy marshmallow. And I do believe, I don't know if we've still got it in our catalogue, but we did have, and I think it's just recently retired, we did have this particular scent in the body wash as well in our catalogue at one stage. So raspberry sorbet, cotton candy, fluffy marshmallow. So that raspberry is coming across a little bit citrusy to my nose. Again, it's quite light, but there is a very sweet, sugary cotton candy note, verging just almost on a citrus with that raspberry. As I said, I think this is one that is right up my daughter's alley. Not so much one I would typically gravitate towards, but these are the ones my daughter really, really loves. So, and being on the lighter side, it would have probably got warmed in her room anyway, because that's where the lighter scents go to get warmed, because her room is the room that throws all the light scents and makes them smell like they're not light scents at all, that they're really, really strong. I get the best performance of light scents from her room and combination of warmers that she has going in there. So the next one. So we had a chance to vote back licensed bars this time around, and one licensed bar did make it back into the bunch, and that was Your Pal Mickey. So I have smelt this one before, haven't warmed it, but have smelled it. It was actually in the catalogue when I first joined and retired that season changeover just after I joined. So if we're to give you some more information on Your Pal Mickey, it was in the spring summer catalogue new of 2018, and so I could be wrong on dates here, but I do believe this was when they first announced that they had their licensing agreement with Disney, and that's when Mickey, Your Pal Mickey, first made its debut and became new to the catalogue of spring-summer 2018. It continued on to 2019, and it retired during that catalogue that I joined in 2020. So I joined in February 2020, and the catalogue, like I joined mid-February, the catalogue had just started the beginning of February, and then when we had that catalogue changeover, July, I think it was, dates-wise, is when it retired. So Disney Your Pal Mickey, a forever friend deserves a fitting fragrance, and this sweet but dapper celebration of green apple, orange blossom and fresh spring air is the perfect tribute. So this is like a fruit punch scent to me, and I think that's why I never actually brought, even as I said, I've smelled it. I may even have an old tester of this somewhere. It smells like a fruit punch to me, and I feel like there's always some type of fruit punch hanging around in our catalogue, which is why I never bought it. I will warm these scents. I will enjoy them. This one will probably go to my daughter's room. As I said, they're enjoyable, but I just feel like there are so many similar scents out there to this that I don't feel the need to club these type of scents or hoard these type of scents particularly. Like if I come across them like this in a kit or pick up one here and there, I do enjoy them while they're in a catalogue or while they're available, but I don't stock up and I won't necessarily club that particular one. And the last one, this was the one I am most excited for. I have been hanging out for this scent to come back just so I could club it. So I myself first experienced this scent when I picked it up in the clearance section when I joined in 2020. So I think we had just come out of a Bring Back My Bar just before I joined, and all what was left over from that Bring Back My Bar ended up in the clearance section, and that's how this particular scent ended up in the clearance section. I brought one, went back, brought 6 of them and hoarded them like crazy. Found a beautiful mix that I love to warm in winter, and eventually they were no longer available in the clearance section. Because they were in the clearance section, I was unable to club this particular scent. Now it is coming back in a Bring Back My Bar. I will be locking this scent in multiple in my club so I can have it. And this particular scent is Honey Pear Cider. Now, for me, I'm picky with a lot of Sensi's pear scents because I often find with a lot of Sensi's pear scents there's a very sour edge on the back end note of them. I don't get this with this one, and I am so glad. There are a few pear scents when I find ones that I love, I fall deeply in love with, or I get the, ooh, it's got that sour edge. This is one that I love. So this was new to the Spring Summer catalogue of 2014, and as I said, it was in the January 2020 Bring Back My Bar, and that's when it would have made it to the clearance section, or where I found them in the clearance section. So Honey Pear Cider is the scent of pure autumn bliss. Fresh juicy pear, sweet honey together with subtle hints of spice. And it's all that. It's a warm, toasty, cozy pear with just a little bit of spice. Mix this with Jack's Obsession and you have a beautiful autumn, warm, cozy scent. It happens to be my favourite mix, Jack's Obsession and Honey Pear Cider. And I used up my last bar. I was hoarding my Honey Pear Cider, I think last winter, and I was going to be a very sad monkey thinking I had no more to do that mix with. I still love Jack's Obsession on its own, but now I can do that mix again because I can order this as liberally as I want I love this by itself. I love it in that mix. And you're probably going to see a lot of this in my what I have been warming this winter. I'm probably going to go a little bit nuts over honey pear cider. So they are the 12 Bring Up My Bars that are available here in Region 3 from the 1st of June. If you don't have a consultant in Australia and are interested in grabbing some of them, I will put my details below. I also have a job form if you're looking for someone to order on your behalf and don't want to hang around on the website. I'm quite happy to do that. I will pop that down below. Let's talk about, before I go, what would be my ultimate, or should we do my favourite to my least favourite, or an ultimate 6-pack, or both? Maybe we'll do both. So we'll go my ultimate 6-pack first, and you know it's going to be honey pear cider. It's also going to be my number 1 out of these 12. My second one would be marshmallow mint. Definitely club worthy. Both of these are definitely going in my club. I'm going to say salted caramel cupcake would be my number 3. I have to get along on board with the bakery. So that's going to be my number 3 for this ultimate 6-pack. So we've kind of got, you know, along the lines of the warm, the cozy, because, well, we're coming into our autumn winter here, so I've kind of gone and been drawn to them over the summery sense. Okay, so now this is where it gets harder. They're definitely my three favourite out of this bunch. I'm going to go number 4, sticky cinnamon bun, because I feel like this is going to be a really good mixer. So sticky cinnamon bun would definitely have to be my number 4 for that ultimate 6-pack. I just don't know if I'm crazy about the ginger in that frosted ginger cookie. Number 5, I'm going to go Tahitian black orchid. I do love a floral, and I feel like this is something I could warm all year round. And then number 6. Number 6. Number 6, do I go candy crave or do I go sparkling black plum? So number 6, I think I'm going to go sparkling black plum. This is just based on cold sniff. That intrigues me. I get tart, I get sweet. I like it, and then I'm like, I'm not too sure. I like it, and then I'm not too sure. This one's playing with my senses. So based on that, I'm going to go number 6, sparkling black plum. So that would be my ultimate 6-pack. Honey pear cider, marshmallow mint, salted caramel cupcake, sticky cinnamon bun, Tahitian black orchid, and sparkling black plum. So I don't know necessarily that that would be my favourite to my least favourite though. But if I were to purchase a 6-pack straight off the bat, that would probably be my first 6-pack I would purchase. So now let's do my favourite to my least favourite of scents. Honey pear cider is definitely my favourite. Marshmallow mint's definitely my second favourite based on cold sniffs. Salted caramel cupcake, definitely my third favourite. And I'd have to say, even though there's not as much bun as I was hoping in this, my fourth is definitely sticky cinnamon bun. So that order pretty much stayed the same. Here's where the order might change a little bit based on favourites. I feel like for me, the next one would probably be, if the more of the sweet notes come out in frosted ginger cookie and meld with that fresh shaved ginger, I feel like this one could be right up there as number 4 or 5, 1, 2, 3, as number 5. But I'm going to go number 5 as Tahitian Black Orchid because I do know I really like what I'm smelling here, even though it's quite light. So I'm going to go number 5 for Tahitian Black Orchid, and then 6 ginger cookie, because this is all going to depend on how frosted ginger cookie warms. I can smell that brown sugar note and more of that bakery on the bottom, but at the moment it's been overpowered by the ginger. So I feel like and I do often find the case with a lot of bars that I'm not sure about, that when they warm, I find some bars transform. And I feel like this is going to be one of them. So that would be number 6. And then I think my next favourite would actually be Candy Crave. But I don't warm enough of these to have it as an ultimate 6-pack, which is why I went sparkling black plum over this. But I think number 7 for me would be Candy Crave. Number 8 and 9, I feel like are kind of on equal footing. So sparkling black plum and lemons and berries are 8 and 9. And I feel like I could alternate them either way. Again, depending on warming to see what place they take. So they're kind of both equally holding 8 and 9 place. And depending on what I like better on warming would be what way I'd switch sparkling black plum and lemon and berries around. Number 10. Number 10, I'm going to go Crazy Coconut. Number 11, Your Pal Mickey, only because I can't smell Summer Holiday. I feel like they've given us duds with the Summer Holiday and that it's lost a lot of its scent. I want to smell what Summer Holiday really smells like. This was one I was really intrigued to smell, and I feel like if we'd got given a proper bar of Summer Holiday that wasn't so old, it would have been a lot higher up in my scent preference. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to pop Summer Holiday in towards the end of the Bring Back My Bar, after they've hopefully depleted through what they've got in their factory in my club, towards the end of the Bring Back My Bar. And what I think I'm going to do, just as a temporary, you never know, it may end up falling in love and keeping it in there, but pop it in my club and hope for a fresh pour and see if it makes a difference with a fresh pour, because I really think I'm not getting what I need to out of Summer Holiday based on how old this bar is. So that is my 1 to 12 preferences. So I hope you enjoyed this Bring Back My Bar session on what will be available from the 1st of June. Until then, stay safe and bye for now.